Dear Mr. President Donald Trump, my name is Victor Oguni. I'm a proud U.S. citizen. I'm an entrepreneur and a small business owner who loves this great country. I will pause here to salute unapologetically your courage, bravery, and tenaciousness. President Trump, your bold audacity has been evident from the start. Your courage in daring to be so bold as to stand alone on issues regardless of opposition or negative chatter has impressed and inspired me. Your evident love for our country has emboldened you to take whatever steps you have deemed necessary to preempt or terminate consequences you believe will have a detrimental effect on the citizens, the electorate, and our beloved country. It is very clear that you're a man of action with the resolve and authority to get things done. I was struck in particular by two of your campaign promises: to make America great again and to drain the swamp. You may actually be the president that has the steadfast commitment to deal with unlawfully underperforming bureaucrats within your administration, appointees who are aiding the undermining of the U.S. Constitution, yet are paid from the taxpayers' purse. You are clearly different from your predecessors, and this gives me hope that you may be the leader concerned and able to redress an issue I will bring to your attention. The issue is one that has been harming the tax-paying citizenry, causing them unwittingly and unknowingly to fund serious waste in a context of rampant fraud and abuse. The context I refer to is no less than the United States Navy, a premier military agency of our country. Mr. President, sir, please be informed that many small business owners have been abused and injured by the Navy's systemic failures in the areas of procurement and contracting with the small business owner, SBO contractor community. Practice has painfully revealed that there is evidently no responsible person, nor seemingly a defined responsible agency in government to formally address the serious problems that have repeatedly harmed the small business owner community. Three of your appointees of the highest office within the Navy's most senior echelon have deliberately ignored reports of such harm and the appeals of small business owners, such as myself, for relief. I've forwarded several written requests and sought an audience with them to discuss the specifics of my situation, but I've received no reply. They have, since August 2017, refused to speak or conference with me and my Chief Operating Officer, who is also a retired Navy captain. My matter concerns the breach of a fully executed statutory small business set-aside contract. I have written petitions to the then Secretary of the Navy, Honorable Ray Mabus. He and his assistants, Honorable Sean Starkley and Vice Admiral William Hillary, who we have come to understand directly, issued and placed a stand-down order throughout the rank and the chain of command, from Commander Naval Sea Systems rank to and throughout the Southwest Regional Maintenance Center organization, on enacting any communications with us, hoping that we will simply go away. The President's own new appointees, Honorable Richard Spencer Setnap, and his assistant, Honorable James Gutz, and including Vice Admiral Thomas Moore, I've been notified of the misconduct by the previous administrations of Mabel, Stockley, and Hillary since September 26, 2017. Yet once again, the Navy remains silent. None of your three newly appointees, Mr. President, have acted to remedy our situation. We have sought to engage the Department of Defense Navy Inspector General offices since 2014. None of these bureaucrats has fulfilled their responsibility to at least investigate reports of serious misconduct within the department, over which they exercise supervisory authority. On the contrary, the Inspector General's office have remained silent up until now. And since my last letter to them dated August 14, 2017, even the Chief Law Enforcer of the nation, United States Attorney General Honorable Jeff Sessions, remained silent since my letter of October 31st, 2017, in which I detailed serious matters that I now write to draw to your attention. Sir, I succeeded in floating an engineering company, COMSOL Global, that competed successfully against other companies. COMSOL Global competed and won all of its business transactions on merit, following due process. The company became the best in class in a specialty service, complementing and contributing in a small measure to the greatness of America. Unfortunately, sir, COMSOL Global's latest contract of $100.7 million has been shamelessly and blatantly breached and stolen. As a result of the blatantly corrupt actions of the naval officials involved, the fully executory contract was illegally breached, and our $500,000 patent pending equipment hijacked by powerful competitors who had lost the bidding exercise in the first place. Mr. President, I believe that systemic corruption within and throughout the bureaucracies of government is a Trojan horse that will in time implode and harm our beloved nation. Because bureaucrats such as these, who are hell-bent on satisfying their ongoing greed and power, these insatiable bureaucrats are worsening the very swampy cesspool you are vowed to drain. Their actions are causing irreparable harm throughout America by decimating the small business contracting community, vital to the backbone of working class America. Mr. President, President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1935 stopped the light corporations from monopolizing small business opportunities. And as President Dwight D. Eisenhower cited in a farewell address in January 1961 to the new President Kennedy and the nation, he famously gave a dire warning with regards to the corruption influence of what he described as America's military-industrial complex. Sir, far from assisting your laudable efforts to make America great again, these bureaucrats are undermining its progress. I refer to other harmful similar incidences of cases in recent times. Fort Leonard Navy, the biggest Navy procurement scandal in American history. This scandal, which is linked to other instances of corruption, proves beyond any reasonable doubt the existence of deeply entrenched corruption in the same Navy that has so harmed my organization. This scandal ensnared Navy captains and commanders, contracting personnel, and naval criminal investigative service agents. and continues to do so. San Diego Union Tribune, 30th of May 2018 report. $32 million equipment missing from the naval base in San Diego. News report, which I'm also told that it has been reported to you, sir. 60 admirals being investigated on Fort Leonard scandal. News report. Incomplete staff work, putting lives of our fine men and women, the sailors, in danger. Repeated instances of wantonly breach contractual obligation or the theft of small business owners' opportunities. America has just concluded 2018 National Small Business Week, which in Washington, D.C., which I just consider to be a window dressing. The House Chairman on Small Business Committee, Honorable Steve Chabot, addressed the nation and said, when small businesses are strong, America is strong. Similarly, 3 leading members of the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs, Chairman Ron Johnson, Ranking Member Claire McCoskey, Ranking Member Tom Carper, have recently introduced the Payment Integrity Information Act 2018, a law to curb waste and fraud. It was declared that the legislation was well vetted by the experts in the Inspector General community, the Government and Accountability Office, GAO, and the Office of Management and Budget, OMB. It is a concern that those same said experts, and in particular the Naval Criminal Investigative Services, NCIS, conducted 27 investigations on the notorious Fort Leonard procurement fraud case, but found no wrongdoing. It was left to the federal court in California to determine the truth, which was that corruption on an unprecedented scale had indeed occurred. Sadly, to know that all the said investigatory committee of experts were duly informed about our experiences, but they declined the opportunity to interview citizens such as myself, who have had direct experiences with government waste and fraud. In fact, the fraud and corruption involved in my situation goes potentially further than what was exposed in Fort Leonard scandal. Yet, another inquiry has been launched, this time by Defense Secretary James Mattis, a veritable army of auditors to assess the Department of the Navy's operations, who will, amongst other things, examine military procurement contracts. San Diego Union Tribune report, June 4, 2018. Sir, now is the opportune time for my matter to receive the urgent redress required. We have been ignored for far too long, and we will not rest until we receive full restitution for our breach of statutory contract. Our financial and legal rights must fully redressed. So, this is a litmus test, an opportunity to demonstrate the existence of the sincere will to make America great again without undue delay. Sir, seize this opportunity to demonstrate the United States government's integrity, credibility, and transparency in restoring the greatness we are seeking by redressing this grievous wrong to a vital element of the tax-paying constituency. Insist that this stinking swamp of corruption and misconduct be drained. Mr. President, please order an immediate, urgent, and impartial inquiry into my matter, including reaching and in-person interviews with myself, my personnel, and other witnesses. Redress for the direct and consequential injuries suffered by myself and my organization, which have been devastating, is long overdue. Thank you, sir.